Nate, and you just tuned in to Rapture, the Revelation. This is a spiritual channel, and spiritual things is in truth the things you cannot see. This channel is set up for that experience. Like, comment, subscribe to the content you're about to receive. With that all said, let's get into it. The last time together we talked about God's increase and how it happens. Today we're talking about blasphemy and those who use God's name, not in truth the things of the kingdom of God as hidden within them, but rather profane talk in truth of their physical lives and worldly materialistic things. Let me explain. God is spirit. The only way we can connect with God is in truth and spirit, not in truth of the flesh, but rather in truth the things of the kingdom of God. This truth has been hidden within you by God, not by physical actions from you. And because it's not by actions by you, that means it's not your truth. It's truth that dwells within you. Truth that is greater than you. Truth that is not of the principles and ways of this world, but rather the kingdom of God that's been hidden within you, certified by God. God's truth is the author of our hearts if you belong to Him. His truth, the things of the kingdom of God that He has hidden within you, covers the trials and tribulations and truth of your flesh that you have hidden within you. It do away with love formed in truth of the lust of our flesh under the law with no respect for person. From your obedience to becoming accountable, responsible, and celibate in truth the things God has hidden within you of the kingdom of God, the love of God erases what you form in truth of the lust of your flesh under principles and ways of the law. That's the direction the love of God eternally take you in, which is pleasing to God. Walls being built of the kingdom of God, in truth the things God has hidden within you. Forever doing away with the perspective of love being in truth of the lust between humans' legs, blaspheme against God and His will for the kingdom of God are those with loose lips, unable to control their tongues, craving the desire for self-destruction, screaming God's name in truth of themselves physically and worldly things, with emotional, carnal-minded prayers, proclaiming to be blessed in truth of the flesh, in truth of the lust formed between their legs under the law, proclaiming worldly materialistic things as God's blessings, glorifying another day to serve as slaves under the lust of their flesh, unconscious that their tongues are enemies to God. Being absent from the body did hurt. 1,000,000,000 times I would lay my life down for her in truth of what God has hidden within me. Out of control is when you can't stop yourself from standing against principles and ways of God, which is in truth and celibacy. Truth of things of the kingdom of God, the evidence of things unseen God is hidden within you. If you belong to God, when you don't belong to God, things of the kingdom of God don't dwell within you. Since you can't control your flesh, the law will control your flesh under the worldly fate and curse of the flesh. Out of control to God are those not under His control, but rather under the control of principles and ways of darkness that can be created and formed in this world in truth of the lust, money, and casualties. God's will is not to do away with man's corrupt laws, principles, and ways, but rather to deliver those that belong to God from the darkness of principles and ways of the law. Greater is the truth God has hidden within you than testimonies of the truth that can be seen by you. We hear so many worldly, carnal-minded testimonies about God. We've forgotten it's about the truth of things of the kingdom of God. God is hidden within you. Episode 24. And you're listening to Rapture, the Revelation.